The person you cannot stop thinking about truly cares about you. Even if everything between you feels confusing, uncertain, or hard to understand right now, there is a deeper reason this person continues to return to your thoughts. It is not by chance. It is not happening simply because you are bored, lonely, or feeling emotionally vulnerable at this moment. Something meaningful is keeping this connection alive, deep within your heart and everyday emotions. This person comes into your mind for a real reason. Even when you are not trying to think about them, they appear during quiet moments when the noise around you fades and your mind finally becomes still. They come into your thoughts during the small pauses between your daily worries, in those moments just before you fall asleep, when your defenses are completely lowered. Sometimes they appear without any warning in the middle of a normal day, while you are simply going about your usual routine. If you cannot stop thinking about someone even when you try, hit like and let this message reach more hearts. You may be busy working, talking with someone, laughing with friends, or feeling peaceful, and then suddenly their face appears in your mind without any effort. Their voice, their smile, or a special memory connected to them rises naturally inside you without force or intention. It happens quietly and on its own. You may have tried many times to push these thoughts out of your mind. You may have told yourself that it is time to move on, and that thinking about them no longer brings anything good into your life. You may have reminded yourself again and again about the confusion, the distance, or the long silence that now exists between the two of you. At times, you may have questioned your own thoughts very deeply. You may have wondered whether you were imagining something that was never truly there, or holding on to hope without a clear reason. You may have asked yourself why they still matter so much when nothing feels certain or resolved between you. Yet no matter how hard you try to distract yourself with other things, they continue to return to your thoughts. Even when you tell yourself you are completely finished with everything, even when you feel strong for a while, they remain quietly present within you. This is not a coincidence, and it does not mean there is something wrong with you. It does not mean you are trapped, desperate, or unable to let go of the past. It simply means there is a bond that has not been fully resolved in the story you share together. It means something emotional still exists between both of you, whether it has ever been spoken aloud or not. Connections like this are not created only through logic or careful planning. They cannot be controlled by willpower alone, no matter how determined someone may be. They are formed at a deeper level, where emotions, memories, and meaningful experiences come together over time. When someone continues to appear in your thoughts without any effort from you, it often means there is still unfinished emotional energy between both of you. Something was felt deeply, even if it was never fully expressed through words or actions. Something meaningful was shared between you, even if it was never clearly defined or given a name. This person may also be thinking about you, even if they have not reached out or openly spoken about their feelings. Thoughts are not always carried through spoken conversations or written messages. Feelings do not always reveal themselves through direct actions or obvious choices. Sometimes people quietly carry their emotions inside because they are unsure what to do with them. They may feel overwhelmed, frightened, or uncertain about what the future holds. Type still if there is someone who continues to appear in your thoughts no matter what you do. They may not know how to respond to what they feel, so they keep everything inside for now. But their silence does not mean they no longer care about you. You may sense their presence at unexpected moments during the day or night. You may suddenly feel warmth, sadness, or longing without fully understanding why those emotions appear. You may feel connected to them even though physical or emotional distance separates both of you. This is not simply your imagination playing tricks on your mind. Strong emotional connections often work beneath the surface in ways that are difficult to understand. They do not always follow clear rules or expected timelines. They quietly continue to influence your thoughts and feelings in ways that are hard to explain. You are not weak for feeling this way. You are simply human. Caring deeply does not disappear just because your mind decides it should. The heart does not move on simply because the mind tells it to. When something truly meaningful touches your life, it leaves a lasting mark inside you. That mark remains until it has been fully understood, healed, or gently transformed with time. This connection does not mean you should wait forever or ignore your own growth and happiness. It simply means that what you felt between the two of you was real and important. It means the bond truly mattered in your life. Confusion does not erase love or remove its presence. Silence does not erase the emotions that still remain. Distance does not always mean the other person has stopped caring. Sometimes distance simply reflects fear, uncertainty, or an inner struggle taking place within the other person. You may never receive clear answers from them, or perhaps one day those answers will finally come. Whatever happens next, your own experience is still real and valid. The thoughts that continue to come to you are not meaningless. The emotions you carry are not without purpose. They are part of a story that touched your heart deeply and changed something inside you. If this person continues to live in your thoughts, it is because something between both of you has not fully come to an end. That does not mean it will continue forever in the same way. It only means it mattered deeply. And the things that truly matter often take time to settle peacefully inside the heart. Be kind to yourself during this season of your life. Do not judge your thoughts too harshly or force your feelings to disappear before they are ready. Understanding often arrives slowly, with patience and time. Sometimes the purpose of a connection is not to last forever. Sometimes it exists to change you, teach you valuable lessons, and remind you of your ability to love and feel deeply. Even through confusion and silence, that connection can still hold real meaning for both people. When someone stays in your thoughts this deeply over a long period, it usually means the emotional bond between both of you is still alive. Even if you no longer speak often, even if life has taken you in different directions, and even if the silence has lasted much longer than either of you expected, your mind is not simply holding on to the past without reason. Comment connected if you still feel a deep bond with someone despite the silence and distance. Your heart may be responding to something that still feels unfinished between both of you. There may be something that never reached a clear ending or true resolution. Human beings are rarely disturbed by what is complete. We are most affected by what remains unfinished, uncertain, and emotionally unresolved. You may notice that you think about them whenever something good happens in your life, and you wish you could share the moment with them. When you experience a small success, a funny moment, or something beautiful, they are often the first person who comes to your mind. You imagine telling them about the little details of your day because, although those moments may seem small to others, they carry deep meaning for you. You wonder how they are doing, even when your own life is busy and full. Sometimes you feel drawn not only to their physical presence, but also to their energy, their emotions, and their inner world. This kind of connection often appears when two people remain emotionally connected on a deeper level, even across silence and distance. What most people fail to understand is that emotional bonds do not simply disappear because communication suddenly comes to an end. Silence does not erase a true connection or the feelings two people once shared. Physical distance does not remove the emotional attachment that has developed over time. When two people connect on a deep emotional level, that bond leaves a lasting mark on the unconscious mind. The unconscious does not work through simple logic or strict timelines. Instead, it responds to meaning, emotion, and unresolved experiences that still need attention. If you continue thinking about them, it may be because a part of you senses that the story between you is not completely finished. This is also why the connection can feel confusing, complicated, and difficult to fully understand. Sometimes, love that is simple naturally brings peace and clarity with very little struggle. But love that feels distant, uncertain, or delayed often exists in the space between fear and desire. One or both of you may be afraid of being vulnerable, afraid of change, afraid of repeating old emotional pain, or afraid of wanting something that feels uncertain or difficult right now. Fear does not completely remove love. Instead, it delays its expression. It hides those feelings for a while and creates distance where closeness is deeply wanted but feels emotionally risky. You may ask yourself why, if they truly love you, they have not taken action or reached out in a clear way. You may wonder why they have remained silent for such a long time without offering any explanation. Love does not always move in a straight path or follow the direction people expect. Many people feel deeply inside, but do not know how to act on those powerful emotions. Some people protect their emotions because of painful experiences from the past. Others carry wounds from previous relationships that still influence the way they connect with someone new. Some are caught between responsibility and desire in the lives they are living today. Others believe they are not worthy of the love they feel, while some think they must heal or improve themselves before allowing someone to become close again. The mind naturally returns to what the heart has not been able to resolve. That is why they appear in your thoughts when you are peaceful, quiet, or emotionally open without the usual distractions. At night, when the noise of the day fades away, the unconscious mind often speaks more clearly than it does during busy hours. Even during the day, when your emotional guard becomes lower, the same process happens naturally without any effort. Type yes if you want me to reveal why this person continues to live in your thoughts every single day. These thoughts are not something you are forcing into your mind. They rise naturally from much deeper emotional layers within you, and that is an important detail to always remember. Thoughts that arrive without invitation often come from deeper parts of your emotional world. There is something else happening beneath the surface as well. Whenever these memories return and you think about them, you are not only remembering who they are as a person, you are also remembering who you became when you shared that special connection with them. Certain people awaken parts of us that remained asleep with everyone else. They reflect something back that feels familiar, meaningful, and truly alive within us. Losing access to that reflection can feel as though you have temporarily lost a part of yourself. That is why the longing often feels much deeper than simple attraction. Distance between two people who truly care about each other often exists not because love is missing, but because timing, fear, or inner conflict is standing in the way for now. You may sense that something is preventing both of you from moving closer together. That feeling is often accurate and deserves your attention. When emotions remain active without reaching a resolution, the psyche continues holding on to the connection until it finds understanding or closure. You may also notice moments of emotional confusion. One day you feel strong, peaceful, and completely detached, while the very next day a small reminder brings every emotion rushing back again. Share this video if you believe real emotional connections never completely disappear, even when life becomes uncertain or confusing. These emotional changes are completely normal and are part of the healing process. They show that your conscious mind is trying to protect you, while your emotional heart still remains connected beneath the surface. These two parts of yourself do not always agree with one another. Healing does not mean forcing yourself to erase every memory. It means understanding why this bond exists and discovering what it is trying to teach you during this stage of your life. Sometimes the connection remains because there is an important lesson waiting to be understood. Sometimes it stays because the conversation between both of you is not truly finished. Other times it remains because both people are slowly growing toward the same emotional truth, even though they may not reach it at the same moment. Emotional timing is rarely perfectly aligned in life. If you feel that they truly love you but continue to keep their distance, it is likely because they are struggling with something deep inside themselves. They may be feeling the same pull toward you that you feel toward them. They may think about you far more often than you realize. They may quietly wonder whether you still care for them just as deeply. But instead of moving closer immediately, they hesitate for many different reasons. That hesitation often grows from fear of loss, fear of rejection, or fear of changing the life they have built too quickly. Love does not always announce itself through grand gestures or dramatic actions. Sometimes it hides behind silence and careful decisions. Sometimes it waits patiently behind caution for the right moment. Sometimes it watches quietly, hoping the perfect opportunity will arrive to step forward without unnecessary risk. The absence of action does not always mean the absence of genuine feelings. What matters most right now is not trying to control the final outcome. What truly matters is understanding what this connection is teaching you about yourself and your own personal growth. Perhaps it is teaching you patience. Perhaps it is helping you develop self-worth and inner strength. Perhaps it is asking you to stop chasing and begin trusting the process more deeply. Or maybe it is preparing you to receive the clarity you have been waiting for when the time is finally right. Whether that clarity comes through reunion or through peaceful acceptance, you are not foolish for feeling this way. You are not weak because you think about them so often. You are simply responding to a connection that exists beyond ordinary logic and simple explanations. The mind tries to explain everything with reasons, but the heart recognizes what is real almost instantly. When something truly matters, it does not disappear quickly or easily. If they love you, and the distance remains for now, then time and inner growth may be quietly doing important work within both of you. Comment heart if this message speaks directly to what you are feeling right now. Connections like these often move slowly because they carry genuine depth and lasting meaning. Real depth requires readiness, and true readiness cannot be rushed. No matter how strongly you want answers right now, allow these thoughts to come and go without judging yourself harshly. Do not force extra meaning onto every thought, but do not ignore those feelings without reflection either. Notice how you feel whenever they come into your mind. Whether you feel calm, warmth, sadness, longing, or hope, every emotion carries valuable information. Your emotions are speaking to you clearly during these moments. Always remember this important truth. What is truly meant for you will never require endless struggle or constant pain. It may ask for patience, but it will never require you to lose yourself or ignore your own needs. Whether this connection becomes something real in the future or slowly fades away with time, it is shaping you in ways that you may not yet fully understand. And if one day the distance naturally disappears, it will be because both of you have finally become ready to meet without fear standing in the way. Until that day arrives, trust that what you are experiencing has genuine meaning, even if that meaning is not completely clear to you right now. When you think about someone again and again, when their presence remains in your mind from morning until night, there is often a quiet connection continuing beneath the surface of everyday life.